outside. So she becomes my madam-in-law. And my madam-in-law is nobody else but Urmila Algankar madam. Okay. So one round of big applause for Urmila. Co-conspirator number 2 is my own childhood school friend, Neeta Yadav. And co-conspirator number 3 is Madam Neena Pandharkar. Neena always has her ears to the ground, looking what the world is doing, and immediately puts it on WhatsApp, you know. And the whole world knows what's happening. So she is the master circulator. But Neena, let me tell you that WhatsApp is something which I have deleted from my own mobile. I personally don't really like that. Okay, friends. Now, Neeta called me and said, you're talking on personal effectiveness. I said, Neeta, when I'm going to talk to Rotarians who are supposed to be leaders in their own chosen fields, would it not be a wrong thing to say somebody comes and preaches them or teaches them what is personal effectiveness? These are people who have gone far beyond in their own careers, in their own lives, and we did not be actually talking to them. It becomes rather too elementary to talk personal effectiveness. But let's go a step beyond and take it one step ahead, and we call it enhancing personal effectiveness. Friends, when I say enhancing personal effectiveness, every day as you actually take a hard look at yourself in the mirror, you have a question to ask yourself, that am I really happy doing what I am doing? And friends, my own survey and my own interactions with most of the people has revealed that the reply that comes back from the mirror on a strong gaze of yourself is a no. Most of the times people are not happy doing what they are actually wanting to do. They are rather fed. And why are they fed? Friends, I am not a spiritual guru here to give a spiritual discourse, because the moment I say happiness, everybody thinks of Murari Bapu, Asaram Bapu, and then all of a sudden, your entire, the way you are looked upon is hijacked, and that's the reason why I wear a coat. So that you don't hijack in terms of what actually you mean to say. Friends, I have a kind of a mixed presentation where I am actually going to be talking to you on a lot of things. I have a PowerPoint. I also have a movie which I have made my own self. Having decided to retire from my own professional activities, these days I am doing a lot of experimentation. I am experimenting with my own life. When I said that, we all believe that when we actually do work, we love it. But now when I actually gaze at myself in the mirror, I feel more happier. And the reason why I feel more happier today is I am doing what I love. I am doing what I love. I am actually now into something which I have intended to do all my life. And believe it or not, friends, I am up 4 o'clock in the morning every day and reading to deliver the next lecture. And you would not believe, I do about 20 lectures, 15 to 20 lectures a month. So, it's ultimately something which is boiling down to what is going to give you happiness. And that's where you need to build your effectiveness. There's a difference between what is efficient and what is effective. Something which is done very well is efficient, but something which has to be the right thing to be done is effectiveness. So I am in pursuit of effectiveness for my own self, and in my own pursuit to really see what is that effectiveness. I am here with a presentation which is not borrowed, which is not taken from anywhere, but fundamentals of life, my friends, never change. These are basic principles of life. So somebody may say, well, I saw that on the internet. Yes, 30% of the content comes from the internet. 50% of the content comes from books. 20% comes from my own heart. Okay. So I don't claim ownership of each and every word being my own word. because I got a mail from Nina, and 3 of the first sentences what she had written there in that mail, very surprisingly, were out of my own presentation. So I was a little taken aback. I said, has somebody been hacking my computer? Has somebody been taking away information? But well, friends, no rocket science. It's available here, it's available there. But be sure 20% of that content is something which is my own. And that is where I say it's my content, right? Okay, we start with the presentation. Mr. President, what time you need to complete?
Like to have interactive session? Would you like
It
to
is, I'm just going to be saying that it is going to be interactive, but it is not going to be interactive in a way that, I'm going to ask questions to you. It's going to be a general kind of a thing. The moment I say interactive, I see people taking their eyes off me, because they see the moment you say interactive, you catch my eye and you suddenly say, Sumedha, have you got an answer? And Sumedha's suddenly in a problem, So no interactive sessions in that direction. But yes, we are going to have sessions where people are going to be involved, right? So what time will you do?
8:25.
8:25. So that makes it exactly 30 minutes from now. Fine. This is personal effectiveness, and we add a word to that which is enhancing personal effectiveness. That's what we are actually going to do today. I want somebody from the audience to come and do a Stirner's mental exercise for me, which does not involve any brains. Do you know of a Stirner's mental exercise which does not involve brains? Well, I am going to ask you to do one. Any one person, please come here. And since President just gave me 30 minutes, quickly, somebody. Okay?
Yeah.
Can you, please? Can you just read this?
Golden habits of world's most effective people.
You can tell that again without saying it that?
Golden habits of world's most effective people.
Right? Okay. Now, I would just want you to turn this way, close your eyes, and repeat these lines twice again.
Golden habits of world's most effective people. Golden habits of most. Golden habits of world's most effective people.
I think you need to be consulting the ophthalmologist. Check that. He's waiting here. Shouldn't you be really making him understand whether he's got a color blindness? Because I have here ineffective people, and he is repeatedly saying effective people. Okay?
Yeah.
I think the visit to the ophthalmologist is due. Okay, friends, why does a slide start with golden habits of world's most ineffective people? Is because when the child first starts to walk, the mother says, my child has started walking. When the child first starts cycling, the mother says, my child starts cycling. Actually, do you know what is the real truth? The fact is, my child has learned not to fall. When you say my child has started walking, the real truth behind it is, the mother should be saying, my child has learned the art of not falling down anymore. So if we need to understand what is effective, we need to understand what's not ineffective, right? So that's how we are actually going to take the analogy out of a mother and see what would be these golden habits of world's most ineffective people. People always pulling their hairs out, throwing pages this side and that, very ineffective people. And now let's check where you all fit into this. Okay? I don't plan. I never plan a day. I take the day as it comes. I am surrounded by chaos. Every day I start a day, I want to do this, but end up doing something else. That is chaos. Important things are left behind, but I only attend to urgent things. Important things are different and urgent things are different. But what I do is, what comes by the day, urgently, okay, I'll attend to that. I always say I have so much of work to do. Well, your wife says, "Itka zara माझ्यासाठी करून घ्या." No, sorry, too much of work to do. मलाच माहित नाही मी काय करतोय. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, that's the sign of being, the golden sign of being ineffective. I always rely on others. Boss, मला नाही विचारायचं. हे करतात सगळं आपलं आमचं सीए बघतो. मला नाही. Ask myself. I am unable to forgive. रोज भांडणं करायचे नाही बाबा, आपलं त्यांच्याबरोबर जमणार नाही. Always say that I can't forget. Now the biggest thing is, if you want to be effective, you have to be prepared to take some kind of risk. And I say, well, I am not willing to take any kind of risk. Well, these are things which are part of that golden strategy. Well, let's see some more of those golden things. I have a big ego. I am bad-tempered. I am a very, very poor listener. The moment somebody stops to take a breath, I want to talk again. So I don't want to listen, I want to talk. I want to keep bullying people, you know. Do this, do that, and do it within this much of time. Keep bullying people. Micromanagers. You know, bosses are all micromanagers. Micromanaging is asking people every now and then, be defensive at the smallest thing. Nina gave a big laugh, maybe her boss does a lot of micromanaging, or possibly she does it, I don't know. Go on the defensive instantly. You know, the moment somebody says anything, "Arey, you said it about me, boss, it's not so." So going on the defensive immediately and being completely disorganized. These are the golden habits of people who are completely ineffective. So once we know that these are all the parameters, the golden parameters of being ineffective, I now have a small line which is coming up. Please read that carefully. I know Rotarians don't fit here, but is that for sure? Sure.
Have to.
Have to.
Yes.
Okay, taken for granted. Friends, now I am going to show you some of those elements which we all as human beings keep striving for. Okay? These are some of the pictures which I could just gather, and this is just a part of those. It's a glimpse of some of the things which are going to come. What we see here, first of all, is success. You know, about success, Winston Churchill once said, the saying was, it's what success? To maintain the same enthusiasm failure after failure is success. To maintain the same enthusiasm failure after failure is success. You know, nobody succeeds instantly. It's not a 2-minute noodle game where immediately you put it in the water and you get your noodles done. No, it doesn't happen. Success comes with a lot of failures, and with multiple failures you actually reach the ladder top when you actually become successful. There are golden biscuits and there is respect. Let's see what are human cravings. Success, popularity, admiration, respect, wealth, strength, position, and power. Can you think of anything else besides this? Well, I couldn't fathom it out, so I restricted myself to these very number of things. These are human cravings. Every human being longs to at least have one of these things coming his way. It could be all, or it could be a combination of a few of these. But let me tell you one thing, amongst all these, we say ultimately if I reach this, I am effective. These are only perceptions. This is not effectiveness, this is perception. This is how you perceive me, I am successful. This is how he perceives me, am I popular. This is how Mr. Rege says he admires or he doesn't. You can see all of them, they all relate to the mental perception of somebody else, and they are not attributes which belong to you. So, would we really call these as matters of personal effectiveness? friends, we mistake these to be the real end results of personal effectiveness. Maybe these could be the perceivable end results, but actually when you say what is personal effectiveness, it's something which is entirely different. It is talent, skill, knowledge, energy, hard work, confidence, positive attitude, commitment, planning, and time management. Where does personal effectiveness really come from? Friends, it comes from all these things which are your own intrinsic properties. These are not something which others perceive that you have, but these are your own properties. Do you all agree to this, yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So this is where effectiveness is eventually going to come from, and if we don't take care of this and we actually take care of things which came in the previous slide, I think, friends, we are on a wrong path. So what we need to really be concentrating is not on all of these, but a basket of these. You know, if we have all of these, I'm sure you're going to have a Leonardo da Vinci. You know, the guy who came, who will come maybe once in a lifetime of 4,32,000 years, which is the Kali Yuga. Only once a Leonardo da Vinci will come. But otherwise, we could as humans have at least 2, 3, 4 of this basket. And if we have 2, 3, 4, we could say we have become effective. Friends, if I am to further simplify into 3 broad categories as to what would get me effectiveness, I would say ability, motivation, and attitude. Ability again is something which I possess. I possess an ability to do something. That is what I am capable of doing. But then motivation is something which I have to, I need to be motivated to cycle and go somewhere. If I am not motivated enough, then I am not going to be there. And the next thing is I need to have an attitude to cycle well, to do it well and reach in quick time. That's where the attitude comes into play. So the ability, the motivation, and the attitude would be the 3 most governing factors which will actually bring you closer to personal effectiveness. Now, a little high sounding, you know. When somebody says 9 elements of enhancing personal effectiveness and then writes his own name there, a little high sounding. But friends, I don't feel it's wrong to do it, because there are a few elements which I have added to this. And I take ownership. If they are good, bad, right, wrong, whatever they are mine. So, now I have underlined the word enhancing. Because at the bottom line, each one of you, as Rotarians, as successful businessmen, as successful people, as professionals, are all effective people. Now we are going a step beyond and we say, effectively enhancing the effectiveness. So if I have to enhance effectiveness, take you from level 8 to level 10 on a 0 to 10 scale, there will have to be something more besides what is ability, motivation, and attitude. Let's see what happens. Friends, we need to be decisive. Most of the times, lives are spent being indecisive. We always try to push a decision of today to tomorrow, because any uncomfortable moment is unwanted. We say, ask the vichar karo, right? Take responsibility. Friends, how many of us really take responsibility? Taking responsibility has 2 meanings. I'll give you the second meaning of this. Has anybody heard of the program called SLV? Satellite Launch Vehicle. You know, this was a program launched by ISRO in the year 1970. And our former President APJ Abdul Kalam actually headed this program of SLV. And the first SLV was actually fired on 19th of August 1979. 19th of August 1979. Okay? And this was from the Sriharikota range, from where all the 4 SLVs so far were fired. And there is a computer in front of which the officer who was the head of the ISRO at that point in time, APJ Abdul Kalam, was sitting in front of the computer. Along with him in the room were 4 other top scientists were sitting with him. And the countdown had begun. There were just 3 minutes left for the takeoff to happen, for the rocket to blast, the first stage to blast. And suddenly the computer screen showed, aboard the flight, there is a control error. Aboard the flight, there is a control error. Immediately, APJ Abdul Kalam looked at the 4 other scientists around him and he said, what will we do? The 4 gentlemen by his side were extremely confident. They said, sir, we don't stop. We have called the world media, which is sitting outside. At 7 o'clock, we are supposed to get this SLV into the orbit. And if we don't, the world media is going to hound us. Because we as Indians always are in the habit of tom-tomming a little too sooner about our achievements rather than actually letting things happen and then talk about it. So was the case there. We had already tom-tommed about it and there were people sitting there. There were more than 120 people from across various countries sitting there. All the scientists said, sir, we'll fire. APJ Abdul Kalam had a switch which immediately turned to manual. You know, auto control was turned to manual and he pushed the button and said, I let this SLV fire. And friends, this SLV was supposed to go 400 kilometers into the space. It was carrying a 40 kg payload which was supposed to be put into the orbit. But history is known to all. Instead of going into the space, the second stage went into the Bay of Bengal. The second stage went into the Bay of Bengal. Now, APJ Abdul Kalam was completely perspiring. He was just wondering, how do I go and face the world press now? And as this was happening, Professor Satish Dhawan, who was the chairman of ISRO, walked in and he said, Professor Kalam, don't worry, your team has tried. Your team has tried. I will go and face the press. This is taking responsibility. When you fail, people always say, not me, you. Here was a man who said, not you, me. He went and faced the press. He said, well, our first one has failed, but within a year we'll come back and we'll fire the next one. July 1980, second SLV was fired, and this time it went into space and not into Bay of Bengal. But people of this kind take responsibility. But mind you, madam, when in 1990, the second SLV fired, Professor Dhawan came into the room and said, Dr. Kalam, now go and meet the press. Yes. Professor Satish Dhawan said, now Dr. Kalam, go and meet the press. It's your success. So when it's failure, it's mine, that's leadership quality. When it's success, it's yours. So if you are able to take responsibility, this is the way you should be responsible, right? Be prepared to take risks. I always say, be prepared to take calculated, wise, sensible risks. Okay? Stock market खाली जातोय, गृहाळ म्हणून एक ग्रस्त इथे आले, त्यांनी सांगितलं रिस्क घ्या, करू टाका इन्व्हेस्ट. मी रिस्क घेतोय. No. Sensible, meaningful, very, very knowledgeable risks you should take, and that is how you actually go on. Participate by giving 100%. If I was called to give a lecture here, I mean that I should be giving my 100%. If I don't do that, I am letting this audience of almost around 80 people completely let down and feeling as if, we've been robbed of something. So participate by giving 100%. Think, win, win. There are 4 possibilities. There's win-win, there's win-lose, there's lose-win, and there's lose-lose. Okay? What is win-win? Any kind of a dealing which ends with smiles on both sides of the table. Okay? Any kind of a dealing which ends with smiles on both sides of the table is a good deal. And that's what I call win-win. You should always look to a strategy in your life where you always deal win-win. Friends, be the change maker. Be the change maker. Today everybody is scared of making any kind of big changes. We all want to go into a format. We don't want to be trendsetters. We want to be trend followers. आमच्या इथे रिसेप्शन मध्ये अशी करायची पद्धत आहे, आम्ही असंच करतो. Not prepared to be a change maker, and neither prepared to be a trendsetter. You know, life is all about making those kind of changes and carving a niche for yourself. You know, how is posterity going to remember you? You are going to be remembered only when you make changes. Half-naked man was called a fakir. Who was he? Louder. Mahatma Gandhi. Why did you remember him? Because he did everything which was a change. Right? That is the reason a half-naked man who even didn't cover his top, the world remembers today. Albert Einstein, the man who won the Nobel Prize, said about Mahatma Gandhi that generations to come will seldom believe. Generations to come will seldom believe that such a one as him, in flesh and blood, ever walked upon this earth. Such a one as him, in flesh and blood, ever walked upon this earth. This was not told by an ordinary man, but a Nobel laureate who gave you the law of relativity. E is equal to mc square. Okay, now this man said this about this man because he found him to be radically a change maker. If we have to have fulfilling lives, friends, be change makers. Honor your commitments. Well, much easier said, very difficult to actually do that. Come to many offices, you know, people say, "Oh, काय करू आज वेळच झाला नाही फाईल बघायला. साहेब खूप बिझी होते. उद्या आणि उद्या गेलं तर काय? साहेब अजून चेकवर सही करायला वेळच झालेला नाही. चेकबुक समोर आहे, पेन समोर आहे, स्वतः लिहायचं आपणच आहे. अजून चेक साईन करायला वेळ झालेला नाही. No commitment. We are not committed. Well, anyways, check is a different aspect. Bank and balance नसेल तर check कुठं सही होणार ही गोष्ट वेगळी आहे. But there are several other things on which commitment really becomes a power. Learn to empathize. I'll take an example from the lady's point of view. You know, your maid turns up after 3 days of undeclared holidays, uninformed holidays. And the moment she walks through the door, you are red, blue and purple, and you suddenly start shouting. काय तुला कळत नाही? आमच्या इथे पाहुणे होते, आले नाही. You never even gave her an opportunity to say this. You never tried to put yourself into the shoes of others and try and understand what trauma the other lady went through. No empathizing. So, unless we really truly do this, we are never going to be effective. So, please make it a point. Empathize is one very basic thing which we need to take care of. Maintain self-discipline and perseverance. Self-discipline, I will not explain much, but perseverance is a word which all of us need to understand. Against all odds and all difficulties, we still battle on. We still battle on. And we battle on manfully. You know, a lady also battles on manfully. Jhansi ki Rani or Kittur ki Rani Channamma, they were all ladies, but they fought manfully. So this is not something where perseverance is only male dominated. It is something which with females also is an attribute. Maintain self-discipline and perseverance. Against all odds, if you do this and look to these 9 habits, friends, definitely it will enhance your personal